Muy bien, muy bien. Buenas noches, buenas noches. Sí, hay un par de personas que son nuevas. Escapo. Sí. A ver, veamos quién está aquí. Sí, Amanda. Está Amanda. Hola, Angela. Angela. ¿No? ¿No está Angela? Heather.
Sí.
Hola, Heather. And Isabel. Hola, Isabel. And Laura. And Lawson. Singer. Mark. Singer. Susan. Singer. Tyler. Singer. Wade. Muy bien. Muy bien. And so there's couples. Let's were you able to get my messages? Yes. Oh, yeah. You got my email. Now, do you have a copy of this? No? So now, and same thing. Same thing.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Okay, very good, very good. So, first, is first. Hoy es el 14. Hoy es el 14. 1, 2, 3. De febrero de 2024. Perfecto. Y hoy es un día especial. ¿Correcto? Sí. ¿Sí? ¿Por qué es especial? Muy bien, muy bien. Eso es lo que nosotros le llamamos el Día del Amor y la Amistad. La amistad. La palabra amistad viene de la palabra amigo. Therefore, that would be friendship. Okay. Amistad would be friendship. Feliz Día del Amor y la Amistad. Okay. Nosotros, la clase pasada, comenzamos de cero. We started from zero. Okay. I know it's not the best video situation, but did that help to some of you?
Sí.
Yeah. Sí. Tyler, did that help at all? Like yes? Okay, very good. And for the rest? Okay, so I'll do exactly the same thing tonight. Okay, so you'll be tired of my face. It's like, Jorge, change your, like, grow a mustache or something, like, So what we'll do, we're going to go very fast with a little review of what we were doing. Okay, so we've been referring to what we'll do. Let's go with our PowerPoint. A la presentación de PowerPoint.
Introducción al español.
Introducción al español. Okay, so, I'm making the same mistake here again. So now we're there. So this was our absolute zero. Okay, and for our absolute zero, it was very important for pronunciation purposes to have that solid foundation when you're pronouncing Spanish. Could you please be so kind to go from the bottom? Could you please go with those 5 vowels at the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Perfecto. Ahora vamos a agregar una consonante a la vez. We're going to add one consonant at a time. Uno, dos, tres. Pa, pe, pi, po, pu. Can you, and remember that three premises for the emphasis of a word. If a word ends in a vowel, a, e, I, o, u, in n or s, where is the stress? On the second last syllable. If a word ends in a consonant except n or s, then the stress would go on the last syllable, unless there's a written accent. Those have to be very, very solid premises for you when you are emphasizing a word, because then if you're producing the wrong emphasis, especially for verbs, then you could be producing the wrong verb tense for some verb conjugations. Okay, so in this case, very, very solid with that premise. With those three components for stressing a word, could you please tell me cómo se dice pipe en español? Pipa, ¿cómo se dice potato? Papa, ¿cómo se dice Joe? Pepe, ¿cómo se dice Jim? People, ¿cómo se dice dad? Papa. Could we go to the other one? Could you give me the conjugation of those five vowels with the new consonant, please? Uno, dos, tres. La, le, li, lo, lu. Could you please go with this column right here? Accuracy. Uno, dos, tres, go. La, le, la, lila, lola, lula. Could you please tell me cómo se dice wing en español? A la fountain, pila stick, palo, shovel, pala and hair, pelo. Excelente. Okay. Here it was when we introduced the concept of masculine and feminine, right? What was our first rule of thumb? How would you know that a word is masculine? When it ends in O, feminine ends in A. Perfecto. Okay. Of course, there's always little exceptions to the rule. And do we have an exception on this part of what was the exception? The word mapa, right? Because it ends in A, but it's a masculine word. Now, when you're producing, because we're going to go a little bit fast with all the knowledge that you accumulated last class, could you please, now you're going to say mom, dove, and map, but adding the article, the definite article. And we have to remember that for the definite article, we have 4 words, right? 2 for singular. What is the singular? The masculine. El singular feminine. La plural masculine. And plural feminine. Could you please add the singular article according to the gender of the word? Mom. La mama, dove. La paloma, map. El mapa. Now, could you please go from 1 to 8, doing exactly the same thing? Could you please add the article for all 8 words, please? Uno. La mamá. 2. El memo. 3. La mula. 4. La lima. 5. La mala. 6. El mapa. Número 7. La amapola. Número 8. La paloma. Now, here, I spent a little time explaining our first sentence, because we started from sounds, a, e, I, o, u, then syllables, ma, me, mi, mo, mu, la, le, li, lo, lu, then words, ma, la, pa, la, paloma, etc., etc. And then we started putting little phrases together,
when you say la mamá, la paloma. And then we started putting sentences right here. When we say number 4, could you please read number 4? Uno, dos, tres. Amo a mi mamá. And what was the translation? I love my mom. So now I'm going to go back to our little review here. This is what we were doing. You were really right on with masculine and feminine words, then the equivalents for the, and these are indefinite articles. Okay, so we said the, el, la, los, las, and this would be indefinite articles. So could you just get that pronunciation, and you'll go un, una, unos, unas, knowing that here you're saying a person, an apple, and then unos, it would be more close to saying some. Okay, so could you please say un, una, unos, unas? Uno, dos, tres. Perfecto. So now we have the concept, because then we're going to go to our textbook, and you'll see like all the vocabulary associated with this concept of masculine, feminine, definite article, indefinite article, etc., etc. But other than learning pronunciation with this method, we also learned some patterns. So we even ended up last class putting very, very sophisticated sentences together. Then when we know that a main word is masculine or feminine, then anything describing those main words, which are adjectives, they will have to add, they will have to agree in gender and number. For example, when you say clean, we have 4 words to say clean. Can you read the 4 words, and you go from masculine, feminine, and plural and plural. How do you say clean? Limpio, limpia, limpios, limpias. Now, you'll find that when you start learning all this grammar, then you'll see also the word order in Spanish that is a little bit different when you are describing things. For example, what if I wanted to say, so let's pick the word shovel. Okay, how do we say shovel? Pala. So we will put here pala. When in English you say, could you please hand me the shovel? Which one? The clean one or the dirty one? Okay, so you say the clean shovel. So you go with the description first and then the object next. Not in Spanish. In Spanish, it would be the object first and then the description. Okay, so how will you say the clean shovel? Correcto, correcto. So that would be la pala limpia. La pala limpia. Now, with that concept, we learned like 2 or 3 other descriptive words. Okay, so we learned good, bad. Okay, so let's go with good and bad. You have 2 potatoes. One is bad, the other one is good. Okay, so how will you say the good potato and the bad potato? Start with a good potato. Correcto. Muy bien, Mark. La papa buena. The bad potato. La papa mala. Okay, so it takes a little while, and then once you get a very good handle on that, then but we could sometimes change the word order for the description, but we're not there yet. We're with a basic, with essential, and that will be very good for you. We also learned how to put together plurals, right? So two rules. If a word ends in a vowel, you simply add an S. If a word ends in a consonant, you would add ES. Okay, so I'll throw you. I'll throw you singular objects. Could you please make it plural, adding an article? For example, what if I say palo? Plural with the article would be los palos, because we want to make it plural. Okay, that is your mission. So I'll throw you. Pila. Las pilas. Pelo. Los pelos. And now those were easy because they were vowels. Now I'm going to throw you in between endings with consonants other than N or S. What if I say papel? But we want to say the papers. Los papeles. ¿Correcto? Los papeles. Documento. Los documentos. Do you remember how to say here? Aquí. Okay. Now, how all this knowledge will be very helpful for your communication is when we started adding some very practical words in order to start putting sentences together. We learned how to say is, and I put there the word description. I put it there because is could have two translations. Is could be with verb to be as ser, which is the one that we are using here, or estar, which is later. Later we are going to use estar. For both, when you say es or está, for both you're saying is, okay? But one is temporary and the other one is more permanent. So this is more permanent, okay? So by adding a verb, then all of a sudden you are building sentences. So we learn how to say is, which is es, and also we learn how to say are, the plural. Okay. On the same token, I'll throw you a singular word, and then you're going to say the items are, and then an adjective. Okay, for example, what if I say chico? And could you please make it good? You were almost there. There you go. There you go. Los chicos son, because it's plural. Los chicos son buenos. Now, you know what? I'm going to throw you another functional word that will give you a lot of flexibility when you are communicating, especially when you're communicating in a official situation. Okay, so you already know how to say is and are. You know when you say this, right? When you say, oh, this bottle, this cup, this computer, okay? Yeah, we are on that line. In Spanish, the word this, same idea, because this is an adjective after all. It's a demonstrative adjective. Oh, this bottle, this computer. You'll have two words. Is either este, or what would be the feminine? Esta. Okay. For example, what if I want to say this book? Where's my book? This book. Correcto. You would say este libro. Este libro. And what if the object was table? Do we know how to say table? Mesa. Say this table. Esta mesa. Esta mesa. So you went to IKEA and you saw that tape. My gosh, this table is good. You sat on it. Boom, boom. This table is good. Look. How would you say this table is good? You see, that's why like practice will make everything perfect, because it takes a while. It's like, oh my God, these Latino guys, they have to agree in gender all the time and number. Yes, takes a while. Esta mesa es buena. Now, you are extremely educated people, so I'm able to throw in like following that concept, I'm able to add to that these are the concept. This is it, and now that. Okay. This bottle, that bottle. Okay. On the same token, two words to say that. I'll keep the same order. It would be masculine and feminine. So it would be ese, and the feminine would be correcto. Esa. Okay. Ese, esa. Now, es. Do we know how to say bottle? We'll just polish our pronunciation there. Double L. There you go. Botella. This bottle is good. That bottle is bad. How do you say that? Correcto. Correcto. We were all following that. And we just gave her the chance of shining bright like a diamond, because you were all shining bright like diamonds last class. So now, okay, we'll give you the chance. You guys are so considerate. Muchachos, muy bien, muy bien. Okay, now, aquí es, aquí es, now, when we are analyzing this. So we have pieces of parts of the speech that now we're going to use in order to put together like even compound sentences, like sentences that would go beyond what we were building last class. Last class, we were building this basic pattern. And I love doing that. I love for students to start building patterns. For example, this was our pattern last week. We were able to put sujeto, subjects, and then right in the center, we put verbo, and then right beside it, we put objeto. Okay, now with that, I'll ask you to come up with your own sentences here. What if I wanted to say, that bottle is blue? Esa botella es, esa botella es azul. And as I said, perdón. Correcto, 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 correcto. Muy bien, muy bien. Esa botella es azul. I'm going to remind you about a couple of things that we were doing last class too, and they were very efficient. In English, to make a sentence negative is a little bit more complex because in English, you deal with what we call auxiliary verbs. For example, when you say, I do not speak Chinese. I do not. Oh, she does not speak Japanese. So you use those auxiliaries: do, does, did, if it's past tense, will, would, etc. They don't exist as auxiliaries in Spanish. So you never try to translate those when you're making a sentence negative or a question. Never translate the do, the does, the did, the will, the would. They exist, but as verbs, not as auxiliaries. So when you translate them, a native speaker would try to guess what you're trying to say. In Spanish, when it's negative, you only put the word no before the conjugated verb. For example, what if I would say, oh, this bottle is not blue. Correcto, correct. That was fantastico. So you did it. You put the word no before the verb. Esta botella no es azul. Esa botella es azul. Esta botella no es azul. Esa botella es azul. Could you please give me that? This bottle is not blue. That bottle is blue. Count to three. Uno, dos, tres. This is very important because when you're communicating, then you want to be precise. For example, when you're buying things, when you're in a restaurant and you're trying to explain the waiter or the waitress, oh no, this is not what I order. That is what I order. Like those kind of things. That's what we want to do at the end of this course. That's what I want you to do. Is to troubleshoot, to travel, and then to start really communicating with people. Now, we were doing that So I'll go back to the other class. And we got to this point because we want to analyze that that sentence, amo a mi mamá. Amo a mi papá, which was number 4 and number 5. That's we were reading. Okay. Now, there's the beauty about your textbook is that there are sections that we are going to cover, but then I'm going to remember guys, when we were doing this, now you'll have dozens and hundreds of examples where you could exercise your knowledge. In Spanish, for the so-called regular verbs that would follow a template, there's 3 type of families. We call them AR conjugation, ER conjugation, IR conjugation. Is because you have to use 3 different set of endings. But then we're going to learn little tricks in order to minimize our knowledge. Okay. The first thing we learned was that for non-conjugated form of a verb, equivalent to English when you say to speak, when you say to learn, when you say to live, okay, that is fine, good vocabulary, but then you want to be precise. You want to say, I speak, you speak, she speaks, etc., etc. Okay, the way we do it, we would only use the so-called stem of the verb. So what you do, you get rid of those AR, ER, IR, and what is left, we'll call it the stem of the verb. Then right after that, then you have to learn the so-called subject pronouns. Remember our pattern with a subject, verb, and object, okay? So last class we learned that if I wanted to say I, you said perfecto, perfecto. And then if I wanted to say, rather than to speak, if I wanted to say I speak, I took the stem of the verb. And for regular verbs, you add the ending o. And in this case, for all 3 conjugations. So if I want to say I speak, I took the stem, I added o, and then you ended up saying yo hablo. And remember the emphasis of the word? And this is what I'm talking about. If you say hablo, you're not saying I speak. You're saying either he or she or you formal spoke. Because if you say habló, you know what I would do. Oh, you said habló, I have to put an accent here. And that would be spoke. So in this case, oh, it ends in a vowel. So what is the emphasis? On the second last syllable here. So do it again. I want to say I speak. Yo hablo. Same thing here for learning. I'm going to say I learn. Yo aprendo. Same thing for I live. Yo vivo. Okay. Then I started asking you for other verbs until you were really diligent finding other, for example, ER verbs. And one of you found the verb leer. And what was leer? To read. So we did the same thing. We got rid of ER and we added O. And then now I know how to say I read, which is yo leo, yo leo. And now is where we use the previous information. What if I wanted to say, I read good books? Now we have to make it plural. And we are adding an adjective. And so in English, I read good books. And now we learned the word order. So put it together. How would you say, I read good books? Yo leo libros buenos. Okay, excelente. Now, same thing. One of you gave me another ER verb, which is comer. And I'm sure we all know what comer is. Correcto. Same thing. So how we say I eat? Yo como. And could you please give me different things that you eat that you know how to say in Spanish? Señor? Yo como manzanas. Yo como hamburguesas. Yo como pan. Yo como banana. Yo como, in that case, you know what? I would go, yo como muchos vegetales. Más, because as soon as you put más, yo como más vegetales, you're starting a comparison. It's almost saying, I eat more vegetables, and then I would go more vegetables than, okay, beautiful. Give me something that you eat. Yo como tacos, muy bien. Sí, por favor, Mark. Yo como pollo. Muy bien. Yo como tortilla, Tyler. Yo como piña. Excelente. And remember that we are building patterns. Yo is the subject, como is the verb, and then piña, tacos, manzanas is the object. Outstanding. And that would be your rule of thumb. The H is silent unless it's after the CH or the SH. Otherwise, it's always silent, and I appreciate that you asked that, because that has to be a solid rule. Okay. Then we went with other examples with IR. So vivir, how do you say I live? Yo vivo. And here, I think I gave you also the tip. If you ever wanted to say in, on, at, in Spanish, use the word en. Just use en. Now, you're telling a person where you live. How would you say that? Yo vivo en St. Albert. Give me other examples. Now you're in Mexico. If you say in Mexico, yo vivo en St. Albert. Oh, sure, I know where St. Albert is. Yo vivo en Canada. Okay, excellent. Now, what did I say about negative? So, what if someone says, oh, you live in Mexico. Tú vives en México. No, I don't live in Mexico. How would you say that? Yo no vivo en México. Okay, so, and make it like we're practicing. I don't live in Mexico. I live in Canada. Give me that. Muy bien. Yo vivo en Canadá. Now, just to get, I'm going to tease you a little bit here. Because we learned how to conjugate a verb, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, what we have to master, and we are going to do it with the textbook. But for now, I'm going to give you a little preview of what we'll be doing. We'll just concentrate on AR verbs. Okay, just for now. We're going to go easy. And we're going to take the first verb that you gave me that was outstanding, that was awesome. You gave me verb hablar. Okay. So I'll go to the next page so that the whole conjugation would be together. I love questions. For example, your question was excellent. So anytime you have other questions, please hit me, because we all learn from those wonderful questions. So in this case, I have the infinitive or the base form of the verb hablar. Okay. Which of course, when you translate it, you say to speak. And this preposition here too would be equivalent to the AR in this case. So I'm going to put in red both, just to give you the idea of, oh, I see. So in English, whenever I have that to, would be the same as AR, ER, IR. Okay, but then in English, when you conjugate the verb, you don't say I to speak English, she to speak English. No, you get rid of that too, and then you start adding verb endings if it's applicable. So let's go with something sophisticated here. We learn how to say I, and that was yo. Okay. Let's go to the next level here. What if I wanted to say you, but informal? Some of you are already familiar because some of you have taken French in the past or speak French. And when you say you singular, you make a difference, right? If it's familiar or if it's formal. It's the same thing in Spanish. The informal or familiar you singular would be correcto. Muy bien, muy bien. I knew that you knew. That would be tú. Now I'm going to go with the you formal. Oh, I don't know what you're doing in this level. We should kick her out of this. I don't know, like all the other students are up in arms. No, she's too advanced. Kick her out of here. Usted, perfecto. Oh, and of course, that person will know how to say she probably. You see? Muy bien, ella, perfecto. And now, you might know how to say he. Correcto. But look what I'll do. Did we learn the word él already? As the article, the masculine singular article. And now we're saying he, and it looks like the same word, él. But now your observation was really good. It has an accent. In written form, the él with an accent, that means he. Él with no accent means the. Okay, muy bien, perfecto. Can we go the extra mile here? Would you know how to say we? You see? I can see like students going like Jorge, like do something. She is putting a lot of pressure in this class. So, and then what if I wanted to say you all in Spain? She even knows that. Oh. I'll report this to administration. I don't know. Vosotros or vosotras. And what if I wanted to say you all, but in other places other than España? So I want to say you all. And I just put LA, not as Los Angeles, but that would be Latin America. Okay. would be ustedes. And what if I wanted to say they? Correcto. So, if I want to say they, I forgot to bring my mouse, and this is giving a hard time here. To say they, we are going to go with also gender difference. Ellos or ellas. Okay, so get familiar with that because we're going to use this a lot. These are your subject pronouns, and once again, we'll have to make a huge effort to master them. All over the place. I'll say it in English. Give me that in Spanish. She, ella, they, ellos or ellas, I, yo, you all in Spain. Vosotros, vosotros, vosotras. How about we? Nosotros or nosotras. Now, you notice that I put in red the ending of that infinitive. So, the way you conjugate verbs in Spanish, you only use the stem. So what is left after you remove AR, ER, IR. Okay, so you use the same stem for all conjugation. So we do it here, we do it there. And I'm giving you this as reference because this is a little bit ahead of the game. Because I want you to visually see why when you say amo a mi mamá, amo a mi papá. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Of this screen,
Yes.
and here is I need your help. You're our computer expert. This one? You see, they fire you like this, but these guys. Okay, excellent. And we'll do it here, and then we'll do it there. Boom. So, chicos y chicas, damas y caballeros. What would be damas y caballeros? You need those two words when you want to go to the bathroom. Damas is ladies. Caballeros would be gentlemen. Damas y caballeros. Let's go with a solid verb conjugation here. Okay, I didn't want to do that. I don't know why. The computer went crazy. For now, your endings would be like this. For yo, we already determined that was oh. For tú would be as, hablas. Okay. For usted, I'm going to start referring to usted, ella, and él as los tres amigos. Why? No matter what verb you're conjugating, those three personal pronouns will have the same conjugation. Therefore, in this case, usted would be habla, ella habla, él habla. Perfecto. Okay. Pardon me? Outstanding. Once again, like, look at all your questions so good. So what we are building here is the so-called simple present tense. And this is going to be actually for the whole course. We'll just cover simple present tense, but we are going to cover like even irregular verbs but everything in simple present tense. Okay, so this is something that is habitual. And yes, later we'll add another verb tense, which is present progressive. When you say, for example, this is simple present tense, yo hablo, but then we'll learn how to say, I am speaking, which is the present progressive or present continuous. Okay, but we'll learn that when we tackle estar, which is the other verb to be, which is temporary. Okay, but not yet. For now, excellent question. Yes. So you are wondering, but he is a dude, and it should be masculine. Is that your train of thought? Very good question. And in this case, when we are conjugating verbs, for the verb conjugation, gender agreement is not applicable. So what you have to do, you have to learn verb endings. That's what we are doing. This is the template, and you'll see how that will work. Excellent question. So we have exactly the same. The three amigos, usted, ella, él, same endings. Usted habla, ella habla, él habla. And for nosotros hablamos. Nosotros hablamos. And for vosotros habláis, with an accent there. Vosotros habláis. And then to say you all speak, ustedes hablan, correcto? And ellos hablan. Remember I was referring to los tres amigos, usted, ella, él? These guys are los dos amigos. No matter what verb you're conjugating, ustedes, ellos, exactly the same end. Okay, so we're minimizing our studies. Okay, now I'll give you the subject pronoun, and could you please give me the conjugated form of the verb? So we are practicing here. Let's go. Yo, tú. Pardon me. What am I doing? I did it again. I forgot to bring my mouse. There you go. Let's do it again. You said, yo hablo, tú hablas. The three amigos. Usted, ella, él, habla. Nosotros, hablamos. Vosotros, habláis. Ustedes, hablan. Ellos, ellas, hablan. Now, did you take notes? Because what I need you to do is to have those verb endings handy. Okay, now remember our pattern here. Amo, 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 amo is conjugating verb amar. What if I did that? And what if I put right beside it like that? And what if I made this red? Boom. Boom. And remember our special day is the day to love, Laura. So with your verb endings, I have a mission for you. ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice I love? Amo, amo. And now take a look at all those endings. Is there any other combination that would have that O at the end? No. Therefore, it's very common, rather than saying yo amo, it's very common to do this. Amo. So that's why you conjugate, you translate it when we have that amo a mi mamá. Some of you already said, I love, but what is the word I? It's implicit because of the ending. There's no misunderstanding for a native speaker of the language, okay? Whereas in English, you need it. You cannot say, love. So what are you trying to say? Are you giving me a command? Love me. No. So in Spanish, we need it. So that's number one. Yes, sir. Every single verb. Yes. But you saw that I put it in brackets. It is optional. I didn't erase it because sometimes it's needed, especially for emphasis. When you want to say, well, I don't know about you, but I love my mom. It's like, oh, I don't know about you, but I love my dog. So in that case, tú no amas a tu perro, pero yo amo a mi perro. Emphasis. Okay, so that's why it's optional, as you said it. Bravo. Okay, good. Now, that is the scoop with amo translated as I love. And now, right next to in that sentence, amo a mi mamá. I'm going to go back to the pattern: subject, verb, object. Now, in your head, whenever the object is a person, always add the word a. That word a does not have a translation. It only has a function of acknowledging that you're introducing a person as part of the action. Having said that, I said, amo a mi mamá, and we did a couple of exercises with that. Then amo a mi papá. Give me other people that you love that you could put in that object. Amo a mi esposo. Give me another one. Amo a mi gato. And in that case, that is brilliant because pets, like domesticated animals, they are part of the family. So they would have the same treatment as people. Okay, excellent. Amo a mi gato. I love my dog. How do you say that? Amo a mi perro. And remember, we were analyzing, I love my grandmom. And what was the explanation with adding that ita or ito? Do you remember that? Little, but in this case, when you're referring to people, especially with names, you are adding affection to that. Same as in English when you say grandma, Grammy, right? When you say dad, daddy, mom, mommy. So in Spanish, it's exactly the same thing. So you would say abuela, abuelita, abuelo, abuelito, abuelito. How about brother, hermano, my little brother, a mi hermanito. And then your brother could be a grown-up person, but then you give him a hug. Oh, hermanito, mi hermanito. And it's like a thing. But it's you're adding affection. Hola, mi hermanito. And then my little husband. How do you say that? You're adding ito or ita. So the word for husband is esposo. Now, if you say that esposito, your wonderful husband knows that you're going to ask him money or something. He's like, oh, my little husband, they have a couple of $100. Like same thing with mama, mamita. What do you want? Exacto, exacto. Okay, muy bien. So let's go back to this. Now you have, and in your notes, you have all the endings. What if I add other verbs and could you please, on the same token, so you have amar, and I think we also covered trabajar, right? To work. Okay, now, to work. Could you please come up with the following sentence? And I'm going to give you another piece of vocabulary here. Mi pareja. Mi pareja. That is my partner. So, honey, look at all your wonderful questions. So we're going to send you and her to a different class here because you're ahead of the game here. The J will sound like a sound. And so the J would sound like, let's say, will sound like a sound. And I'm going to put here this other combination. The G with a combination of GE or GI, exactly the same sound. So it would be, as your observation would be like a strong H. Okay. Therefore, for pronunciation purposes, oops, wrong one. How will you pronounce GE? G. Remember that here we have the vowels. Like here is where we use A, E, I. So how will you pronounce GI? He. Look at you now. He's jealous. He's like, oh my God, they are asking all the good questions. I'm come up with a better question here. So then as a good student, he came up like your name, teacher, right, teacher? I love it. I love it. That is exactly the pronunciation. It's Jorge. Jorge. And there is where you apply that. You started with a J and the Jorge. 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 Yes, you're ahead of the game here. Muy bien. Muy bien. Now you have you know when this is my partner. You don't want to say this is my wife. This is my, we live together. So that's a common term that we use. Ella es mi pareja. Okay. So how about this? I work at the university and my partner works in a school. How will you put that sentence together? So I work at the university and my partner works in a school. So we start with conjugating I work. Mark? It has to be solid ending. Mi pareja would make it she. Correcto. Are we all in agreement there? Perfecto. Yo trabajo en la universidad y mi pareja trabaja in a school. En una escuela. En una escuela. Okay. So, now what you did there was brilliant. You have all the elements. Now what we want to do is to apply good pronunciation, good intonation, and good intention. Okay. In order to sound very proper, could you please make the emphasis, because this is what we want the person listening to us remember. We want them to remember that I work at the university and my partner works in a school. Okay, so what I'm bolding here is your main stresses, your main emphasis. Okay, so by adding, and that's the other thing. It's very difficult, the listening part, right? Because it's like, okay. Now, when we are putting sentences together, we link this. For example, if a word ends in a vowel and the next word starts in a vowel, is all one word. Because we don't say yo trabajo en. Yo trabajo en. And we link this too. This would become all one word. Yo trabajo en la universidad. Yo trabajo en la universidad. Slow motion. Yo trabajo en la universidad. Okay, so let's do that exercise. So we'll link trabajo en, those two, and then la universidad is all linked. Universidad, and you will link consonant vowel. You link that too. Universidad, universidad, mi pareja trabaja en, again, you link vowel, trabaja en, and then, you link all this. You link trabaja en una escuela. That sounds all as one word. Trabaja en una escuela. Trabaja en una escuela. Trabaja en una escuela. Trabaja, slow motion. Trabaja en una escuela. Trabaja en una escuela. And the emphasis is on escuela. This is what I want the person to remember. I want that person to remember universidad, pareja, escuela. Okay, so this is your mission. Slow motion. Yo trabajo en la universidad y mi pareja trabaja en una escuela. Yo trabajo en la universidad y mi pareja trabaja en una escuela. That would be like normal speech. Let's go slow motion. Yo trabajo en la universidad y mi pareja trabaja en una escuela. 1, 2, 3, go. Beautiful. We'll do it again. We'll try to go a little bit faster. We'll try. Yo trabajo en la universidad y mi pareja trabaja en una escuela. 1, 2, 3. Bravo. You know what? You're doing like a very good job, seriously, and I mean that. And I mean that because this is your second class. This is your first class for you. You see? And I'm pushing it because of her. That's her is all Okay, now, you know what I'd like you to do? Could you please think of real information with either like a family member or a friend? So, and use words like government or oficina, like a think of real stuff. Okay, so come up with your own stuff and use the verb is trabajar. So come up with either mi esposo trabaja en una oficina y yo trabajo en un hospital. Or mi hijo trabaja en el supermercado Walmart y, y yo no trabajo. Come up with any combination, because what we want to do, and that's the beauty of verb conjugation. The beauty of verb conjugation is to be precise in what you want to say. Be brave. Be brave. For example, how would you say, my partner and I work in a school? My partner and I work in school. Excelente, Mark. Mi pareja y yo trabajamos in a school. Beautiful. Now give me fluency. Mi pareja y yo trabajamos en una escuela. Go for it. Mi pareja y yo trabajamos. Again, go back. That sounds wonderful. Wonderful. Now she's worried. It's like, oh my God, I have a competition here. So come up with any combination with trabajar. Any combination. I work, she works, my brother works, my son works, my son and daughter work. So we want to at this stage, and then we'll drop it, and then we'll go with stuff that we have in our textbook. Okay. Tyler, you look like you're ready. Yeah. Go for it. Start again. Oh, yeah. Excelente. Mi pareja no trabaja y yo trabajo en la universidad. That is accuracy. Muy bien, Tyler. May I have another person? Yeah. Start again. But do you say yo? What is the ending? What is the ending for you? I'll show you right there. So you're saying yo. Correcto. And in this case, this is the ending, but it's tempting. Woo! It's tempting to emphasize the ending, because you're so excited. Yo trabajo. I gave you the right ending, Jorge Vargas. Yeah, but you gave me the wrong emphasis. Okay. Mi esposo would make it he. And what is the ending? Trabaja. And muy bien. And CN. Because we need to show off our alphabet. How would you say CN in español? CN. CN. N. Okay. Beautiful. That's very good, but go back. But that's not the end of it. So remember when you say I work, yo trabajo. When you say y mi esposo trabaja. Go again.
No, trabajo, office,
Perfecto.
big, esposo, trabajo, then,
CN. I have to salute you. That's perfect. Beautiful. Muy bien. May I have another person? You ready? Go for it.
Yo trabajo en la granja con las vacas para el government.
Muy bien, muy bien. Yo trabajo en la granja con las vacas para el gobierno. Gobierno. So that is your new word, and that's as I said, is very important. It's very important. It's very important to learn like all the terminology that would make it that would make it very, very valuable for what you want to say. So your new word would be el gobierno. That would be the government, el gobierno. So whenever you want to say, yo trabajo, I work for the government, yo trabajo para el gobierno. Yo trabajo para el gobierno de St. Albert. Yo trabajo para el gobierno de Canadá. Yo trabajo para el gobierno de Edmonton, etcétera, etcétera. Muy bien, gracias. May I have another person? Anyone, and then we'll move on. Okay, with my super, I'm going to mute you. Boom, 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 boom. Do you say?
noise.
Okay, so start again. And
Closer to the back. In.
trabajamos. Excelente, excelente, excelente. As you can see, and that is the reaction. People would go like, wow. Yeah. No, seriously, because as soon as you go with a verb conjugation, there's no misunderstanding. You are providing the right information with no noise in between. Because what if all of a sudden yo trabajar, gobierno, mi esposa trabajar is like I to work for the government, my wife to work for. So you could have a little conversation there, but there would be all this noise in between. It's like I wish it was like a fluent conversation. Okay, now could we go back to could you please have your textbook now? And we're going to use what we've been learning so far. Okay, would you need a little break now, like a 4? Yes, so why don't we continue right at 8:30? Okay, perfect. It's right beside, so it's and here say derecha, and this is izquierda. Oh, perfecto, muy bien. Sí, derecha, perfecto, muy bien. Yeah, it's interesting. As soon as you get into conjugating verbs and agreeing in gender and number and all that, your conversation gets to the point of that native speaker of saying, okay, now we have a good understanding. Because yes, sometimes you are in a very serious conversation. Like you're traveling and then you want to be precise. Who is performing the action? How would you do that? By adding verb endings. When you say, oh, see, and even when you drop the yo, which is very common, see, trabajo para el gobierno. Trabajo para el gobierno. What would that be? I work for the government. Trabajo para el gobierno y mi pareja trabaja en un hospital. What did I say? Correcto, correcto. And then and I know. So now it's like we have to kick her out of this. This is like. So do you all know each other? No,
We do.
you do, but you didn't know them before? Is it?
We were the first ones.
Oh, that's why. So because since since you were talking about like traveling and all that, I thought that was like you were traveling like together or.
Yeah, we knew each other's contact history that we found.
So everyone has been to Spanish speaking places, I gather? Yes. So for example, in your case, what Cuba? Several times? Once.
That's why.
And what about what's that? Varadero, muy bien.
We've been Mexico a couple times, Costa Rica, Panama.
Perfecto.
We travel.
Excelente. How about you?
Belize, Nicaragua, and San Diego.
Whoa. Wow. How about you? Your traveling experiences with Spanish speaking places. You've been to where? Mark?
Peaceful sense.
Tu esposa es de Mexico. No wonder. So he has that pressure. Like,
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
muy bien.
No, she tried to teach me things. It's like, she's like
Oh, yeah.
so in depth in what. How do you say this? That she's having the 14-minute explanation, so. That does not-
And I gather you've been to Mexico several times.
Yes. Yeah, she's from San. It's center.
And like also people from Mexico visiting you here as well.
Twice we've had a few visits.
Yep. Muy bien, and well, I can tell that like because and that's the thing, the exposure of the language, like and for example, the more you travel, then there's going to be like in your first experiences, it'll be like, but then your brain is picking up, is storing data, boom, until then same thing with your textbook, because now we have patterns, we have concepts, but then when we go to the textbook is this heavy duty workouts. So I'm familiar with the masculine, feminine, so I have like dozens of words now, but then it's very important that you use everything with patterns, and that's what we're going to do now. Okay, are we all together here? Yeah. So let's do this.
It's Valentine's Day. That's right. This is our date night. We're out for your date.
Es el día de San Valentín. We do, by the way, we do have also the equivalents of, el día, oops, wrong one. El día, de, San Valentín. El día de San Valentín. And why do I need an accent there? Because that's the name Valentin, and it ends in a vowel in an N. Pardon me. So then, if I didn't have that accent, I would say Valentin, but it's Valentin. Okay, el día de San Valentín. Okay, so let's practice a little bit of before we get into all that. Let's do a little workout with sounds. Okay. I thought I put here the alphabet. Okay, so let me grab my textbook here. So this is before elements of a sentence. Okay. On page oh, Romans, I love that. 16. Roman. Before elements of a sentence. It's this one. Roman 16. Okay, let's go with it. Please go with me. And this is interesting. For P, they put there P larga or P grande. And then if I go to P, look what we have. P corta, P larga or P grande, and then you have P corta. The reality is this. In Spanish, in Latin America, we don't differentiate B from V. For example, you were talking about the word cow. If you say cow in Spanish, you could say vaca, you could say vaca, you could say vaca, and we'll understand it. Vaca, vaca. And pay attention to the way your wife would say, I'm sure she won't say vaca. Okay, pay attention to that. So that's why we need to have a little reference. So that's why there they put B larga, like long B, and then V corta is short V. But in some cases, and make that a little note there, in some cases, for V, they say uve, 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 uve. So if you think about that, it's the uve is the V close to the U. That's what they mean by uve, uve. Ask your wife. How will you say V? How would you say B? And she'll come up with, she'll probably say, oh, I say uve, uve. Okay. So, and you're fine by saying B, C, A, B, C, and then this che is not as common now. It used to be, but now people, rather than saying che, they would say CH. They would split this rather than the two letters. They would go with the individual CH. Okay, so for now, let's go A, B, C for now. A, B, C, che. Uno, dos, tres. D, E, F, G. And this was your question. The GE, it would be that G. And then he'll say, oh, like your name, Jorge. And then, okay, let's go again. A, B, C, H, D, E, F, G. Uno, dos, tres. Muy bien. H. And here is the explanation. They have it in bracket. Always silent. H. And then could you say IJ? And then K. L. E. M. Okay. So in one shot, I'll say it first, and then we'll say it together. A, B, C, H, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, Y, M. Count to three. We'll do it together. Uno, dos, tres. B, C, H, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, Y, M. So don't say ella, say ella, ella. But I'll give you a little tip, for double letters, you could use doble. Doble is double. And in this case, we learn how to say L, which is L. How would you say double L? Double L. How would you say double M? M. Double A. Double A. Double A. I got you there. I got you. But yes, the problem with ella, the problem with and also then you'll see that the Y, the problem with that, to say ella and then to say ye, is pronunciation, is accent. Because if you don't know, the Argentine accent is so distinctive, because for double L's and Y's, they don't say y. Like, for example, when you say my name is, me llamo. That's the standard pronunciation. They say me llamo, me llamo. And ask your wife, by the way, yeah, so what is this group with Argentine people with double L and the Y? And she's, oh, let me tell you about those guys. Okay, so that's why the pronunciation here, which is ella, people from Argentina or from Uruguay, they would say esche. And it's like, oh, like, what are you talking about? Okay, so you do have the possibility of saying double L. Okay, but for now, go with ella the way they have it in the textbook. Okay, so we'll go once more. We'll go A, B, C, H, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, Y, M. Uno, dos, tres. Let's go together. A, B, C, H, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, Y, M. Next column. After me, please. Say N. Say ñ. Say O, P, Q, R, R, S, T, U, V corta, W, or W, X, Y. The word griega means Greek. So what it is, the Y is the symbol, is the Greek I symbol. And the Latin I is the one that you have there. For I, for which we say E. So in this case, for the Y is the Greek I, or we say ye, but it's the problem with pronunciation, as I said, because an Argentine person would say she. Okay. And then zeta. I'll do that column again. N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, R, S, T, U, U, W, pardon me, U, V corta, W, X, Y, Z. Could we do it together at the count of three? Uno, dos, tres. N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, R, S, T, U, V corta, W, X, Y, Z. Now I have a mission for you. Could you please do this? Hola, me llamo. I'll lead the way here. Hola, me llamo Jorge. Don't use my name, otherwise I'll report it to authorities. You are stealing my identity. Hola, me llamo Jorge, and then se escribe. Se escribe J O R G E. Ah, Jorge, sí, Jorge. So, what are you supposed to do? You are spelling your name. Okay, so I'll give you a couple minutes and then you hit me with the spelling of your names. Once you're ready, could you please say listo if you're a boy, lista if you're a girl. That means ready. Listo or lista means ready. When you're ready, you say, you introduce yourself. Hi, my name is, and then you say, you write it, Jorge. Go for it. Oh, oh, Laura. Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. May I have another person, please? Lista. Go for it. Oh, hola, Heather. Señor. Whoa, you're so fast. M. I'm just a machine. M-E-R. Is that correct? He said M-E-R. He's lying to us. He's trying to. I know. Start again. Exacto. Muy bien, muy bien. Muy bien. And when we're doing the alphabet, so we differentiate when it's a single R versus double R, right? So the single R would be ere, ere. And the way you pronounce it, so think about this as your mouth. This is your front teeth here, and this is your upper palate there, and this is your tongue. The single R is just a little tap. Ere, ere, ere. The double R is you have a little friction there. R, R, R. Single, R, R, R. So mark M-A-R-K. M-A-R-K. Go for it again, Mark. Excellent, excellent. So, and we were teasing you because you said M-A, and then it's like, you're changing your name. What? I mean, your spouse won't know that she's married to Mark, but Merck. Okay, another person, another person. Go for it. N-N-E. S-U-Z-E-N-N-E. I. How to say E, A. Yeah. Okay. So is it S-U-Z-E-N-N-E? Wow. So let's no. Like all these people, we have a Merck, we have a Susan. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Another person, another person. Señorita. ¿Es correcto? Excellent. And say, me llamo. ¿También me llamo? Muy bien, muy bien. And how would you, ¿cómo se escribe Amanda? D? You see how helpful it is to spell words, because then there won't be misunderstanding. Like even if because you're going to say your name with your English accent and all, and people will go, and then se escribe A-M-A-N-D-A. Oh, Amanda. Sí, Amanda. Señor. Gracias. Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. ¿Sí? Isabel. Muy bien, muy bien. Isabel. Señor. Y, Y. ¿Sí? ¿Sí? Tyler. Excelente, excelente. ¿Ya?
Hola, me llamo Nivel. Se escribe W-A-D.
Excelente, excelente. And don't forget that here we are dealing with nombres, okay? And I'm not going to ask you to do it today, but be ready to do it because when you're traveling, especially when you're dealing with like officials or like a immigration officer or something, and you want to spell like everything, your first name and last name. To say last name, the word is apellido. Apellido is last name. Last name. Hola. And let's not forget that in Latin America, it's very common to do this. Apellidos. Why? I'll give you something that not everyone would know. I'll give you my whole name. Ooh, well, you could Google that. So it would be Jorge, whoopsie, Jorge, uh, Eduardo Vargas Soto. Whoa! That like all that is in your passport? In my Chilean passport, I have all that. That's my official name, Eduardo Vargas Soto. Mark, you might be familiar with this. Oh, he said, oh, yes. Now, and I'm sure Mark would be able to tell us. So, how come you have Jorge Eduardo? So the first two is fine because you have a first name and middle name. But then how come I have two last names? What is the explanation, Mark? Exactly. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Mark. So then what we are talking about here, in technical terms, when you're, filling out those forms, when you're arriving to this, to Mexico, so this would be apellido paterno. Apellido paterno, and of course, this would be apellido materno. Materno. You only get the first one. Yep. Just the first one. Yes, because the two that my father would have would be his paternal and then maternal. So, and this is a very, very, very good question, and you'll go like, oh, this macho oriented language that you have. For example, and then is the thing with your kids. Okay, for example, yes. So in this case, it's a common thing, although it's changing, but my wife's name would be Janet. The last Mercedes, that's all. Janet is first name, the last Mercedes is middle name. Delgado, and then check it out. How about that, Laura? Of Vargas. And but then you know what is so interesting? Our kids, because they've been born and raised here, so they are Canadian. but now, but they do have a dual citizenship because then we went to Chile and they also, we did all the thing of getting dual citizenship with them. So for example, my son would be Jonathan Eduardo Vargas Delgado. Okay. The problem is that the Vargas will continue because when he gets married with children, the Delgado will be gone. You understand that? Because for example, let's and that's why I'm saying like it's a macho oriented language. So the Vargas, you know, correct. It's gone. Correct. But of course, now here is so different because now, and she hates that because now all, like my wife is also from Chile. So she, her Chilean name is Janet de las Mercedes Delgado Aravena. That's her oral name. But here she's Janet Vargas. And it's, I know, and it's like, I know, I know. It's like, where's my name? Jorge Vargas. I don't know. Talk to Mr. Chrétien. Like,
If she said all of that, we'd be like.
yeah. But and then I'm sure your wife is going through the process of, it's complicated because then look at all the names because of all those the paternal and maternal, and then you married like a person here in Canada, and then you get that spouse's last name, and then she has all her documentation with the other last names. So it's complicated in like for immigration purposes and all that.
Because it's not being, my last name is Nava Rodriguez, and then you press the space bar, Rodriguez, and everything else, and just went to my last name was done. Oh, because like bank, never they didn't even spell it right. Is it like you can't in space? So it's a really.
It is complicated. It is complicated, especially when you have that situation that you have your life here, and you also have your life, like in this case in Mexico, and then you have all these official papers like for properties or for like anything. So it's a combination, and then no, but you're not the person who owns this property. What do you mean? Yeah, because look at this last name and look at the names in that documentation.
Like here, my book is right last name, like it says, like all the forms have what you do, what was your birth, your last name on forms here, in Mexico, you change your last name. Never do that. So she's like Nava Rodriguez in Mexico. She loves it here. She used to be Nava Rodriguez here. It's a lot of fun.
So when you're hospital. Oh, so she.
So she uses her Mexican. What her name is basically.
So that's the cultural component of this class. Now, in order to consolidate all this knowledge that we've been learning and all that, yes, we'll continue with the textbook, but the textbook will just be a tool for us to increase our vocabulary and all that, because I asked you to do pages 7, 8, and 9, right? And you found it very easy. Okay, now I'm going to give you two. I'm going to give you some online resources that you'll find very friendly and for you to enhance what you have here. Okay, there's this website that I like you to start visiting, and there's no strings attached here. You simply put study Spanish.com. It takes you here directly. Studyspanish.com, all lowercase. Okay, so once you're here, then you go to grammar. And this is what we've been doing, is unit 1. Why? If you check that, number 1, gender of nouns, numbers, plural forms, definite, indefinite articles, verb form I, subject pronouns, which we were doing tonight, yo, tú, etc., etc. And then 8 and 9, 8, 9, and 10, it would be like, oh, this is what Jorge was talking about in terms of verb conjugation. Now, I'll navigate this. It's very simple. If you go to the first exercise here, what you'll get is a full lesson. You see? So you have a full lesson of just, in this case, gender of nouns. So here you'll learn that there's other endings other than O or A for masculine and feminine. You learn it here. And then once you get all that information, boom, 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 and you'll check your textbook. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm familiar with this. I could do more exercises on my textbook. But then the beauty about this is that you want to test yourselves. The way you test yourself, go to basic quiz, but only do basic quiz. Don't do the other ones, because the other ones, you'll have to get a membership. We don't want to do that. We just want to use it. Like, I don't want to send my email or anything. Here, I just opened it. I did the lesson. I did the basic quiz, and then you get a score. For example, which word is masculine here? Which one do you think? El libro. And then feminine. Now, let's say I did all that, boom, 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 and then I submit my answer. Okay, and then here, you aren't completed the next question. Oh, I know, but you see that 1 and 2, they are not there. That means that they were correct. Okay, once you do all of them, you're going to get a percentage, so you would know how you're doing. So you're going, 60%, 70%, 95%, 100%. Okay, so aim for 100%, and then that won't go anywhere. It's just pure information for you how you're doing. So if you do that on a regular basis, you'll see how you'll be able to exercise and enhancing this. So it's you could go, please continue with doing exercises on your own at your own pace, and this will be fun, because then it'll be instant way of knowing how I am doing. And this is graded. So you start very simple, and then here it gets a little bit more complicated, but it's the same principle. You have a full lesson with a lot of information, and then you do basic quiz. That's number 1. And number 2, what I'd like you to do, you'll go to YouTube, okay, and here you want to You want to go to el cuarto misterioso. El cuarto misterioso. You see that you have all those episodes? You're going to start with episode 1. Misterioso, which is the mysterious room. El cuarto misterioso. Okay? So you want to do El cuarto misterioso with subtitles. Okay? So here is where we're going to consolidate everything that we've been learning in a fun way. Of course, it'll play soon. Ooh, and we'll have to do all the commercials.
My name is Emily, and I'm from Silicon Valley.
London College, educational works.
No. There you go. Now, so
Aquí está México. La capital es la Ciudad de México. La Ciudad de México tiene 20 millones de habitantes. Aquí está Coyoacán.
okay, so you'll be watching this. It's with subtitles. You'll find it very friendly in terms of, I understand all this. Okay. And then next class, we are going to analyze all the little pieces of information that we've been gathering in these 2 classes. And you'll be amazed how much you're able to communicate, because you're going to tell me about the characters and you're going to tell me about the plot. You'll say, oh yeah, Jose lives in Coyoacán, which is part of the city of Mexico, and he lives with his uncle, Don Pedro, and he works in the projects for his history class of the history of Mexico, and he has a friend, and his name is Francisco. Like all that, we'll be able to say next class. But please watch this. And I'll send you, together with this, I'll send you the, how do you call it? The transcript of the whole episode. So then next class, we're going to go with all the lines. And then we'll stop. Okay, Jorge, could you explain this to me? Like, I think I kind of understand it, but look at the ending, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, and then we'll put it together. Okay, so you have 2 new resources that I hope you'll enjoy. And this was your lesson for today. And very nice meeting you. Very nice meeting you. I'm delighted. I have to apologize, like on behalf of the whole class, if we made you feel uncomfortable. No, I'm just teasing.
The CIA.
So and here is where we make use of our vowels.
Okay.
Because when we were practicing vowels, we practiced ew, ew. Therefore,
Like an ass?
correcto,
Yeah.
correcto. And ciudad, ciudad, ciudad. Go with that.
Okay.
Say that to me. Perfect, perfect. Remind me next class to go back with explanation about the C.
Okay.
Because the C, according to the combination of vowels, would have like 3 sounds.
Okay.
One for the combination of CA, CO, CU, which is
Yeah.
Ka, Ko, Ku. But CE, CI, C, C. And then when you go to Spain, they pronounce it differently. They say P, P.
Okay.
Remind me next class
Okay.
about that.
I'll try to remember.
Thank you for those questions, eh? Mark, gracias.